What's better than playing the 6 and 8? Let's try the 4 and 10. Welcome back, subscribers. Welcome to my new viewers. Let's go ahead and learn this game of craps together. Hey everyone, it's Mike. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been playing a lot of the 6, 7, 8 strategy, which is basically putting place bets on the 6 and the 8, and then doubling that place bet and adding a little bit more and laying that behind the 4 or 10. That way I win on a 6 or a 7 or an 8. And I like the strategy. I play it a lot, but I notice that there's other ways that you can play that actually pay a little bit better. And instead of playing 6, 7, 8, you play 4, 7, 10. And this is a strategy that I watched David show on Casino Quest, and he called it Weezy. And it basically goes like this. You start with a don't pass. So instead of a lay bet, we'll use the don't pass to hedge our place bets. Okay? And basically the way it works is you start with a $30 don't pass, and I'll just show you that real quick. And you roll for a point. Once the point's established, if you look at the right-hand side of my screen, once the point is established, we're going to put $15 on the 4 and the 10. Okay? So now you win on a 4, you win on a 10. If a 7 hits, you're going to lose that $30 on the 4 and the 10, but you're going to win the $30 on the don't pass. So in order to actually make money on a 7 out, you put some odds. You lay odds on your don't pass. Okay? And you lay odds if the point is an inside number, a 5, a 6, an 8, or a 9. If the point's a 4 or a 10, you don't lay the odds. Okay? So let's just roll it real quick. I'll show you how this works. So I'm going to put $30 in the don't pass. I'm going to try to establish a point. And I need to put my turbo mode on. Well, I just rolled a 7. So we're going to start in the hole. Let's go ahead and put our $30 don't pass. And let's get a point. Okay, it's an 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $15 on the 4, $15 on the 10, and since we have an inside number as the point, I'm going to put $30 odds on my don't pass. Let's make sure we did this right. So once the number's established, $15 on the 4, $15 on the 10, and if the point is an inside number, which it is, add $30 odds to your don't pass line. Okay? Now, if a 4 or a 10 hits, you'll win $27, maybe closer to 30, because these are actually buy bets, so we might win closer to 30 after the vig. If the 4 or the 10 hits, you take down the bet on the 4 or the 10, and you take down the odds. And if the 4 or 10 hits, according to David, at that point you cannot lose, because you've now racked up you've pulled your $15 down plus the winnings, and you've pulled the $30 down, so that's 45 plus your winnings of 27. So 45, 65, $72. So even if you would roll a 7 out, you would still come out ahead. So he's saying you can't lose. If the 7 rolls, you're going to lose your $15 on the 4 and your $15 on the 10. So you're going to lose $30. But you're going to win your $30 don't pass. And you're going to win, depending on where the point is, either $20 or $25 on your odds. So let's just roll it and see how it works. Okay, there's a 4. So when the 4 or the 10 hits, we won $29.25. You pull the 4 down. You pull your odds down. So now I've got a $30 don't pass and a $15 buy bet on the 10. So now if a 7 rolls, I lose the 15, I win the 30. If the 10 hits, I lose the 30 here, but I win the 15. And with the VIG, it'll be about 29. And so even with a little bit of a loss, I still net a win. So let's see what happens here. So there's a 5, no help. The only downside I see to this, there's the 8. So we rolled the 8. So we lost that $30. And the reason that we're still down 30 is because I rolled the 7 out on the very first roll. So let's go ahead and set up again. Our puck is off. Our bets are off. We can start with a $30 don't pass. Let's get a point. The point's a 6. That's good. 15 on the 10, 15 on the 4. 30 in odds. Since we've got an inside number, we're going to put $30 in odds. And let's roll. And there's the 10. So we hit the 10. We take the $15 down. We take the $30 down. And we continue our roll. There's another 10. I was getting ready to say earlier, the only downside I see to this strategy is that it's boring. You're going to roll a lot of dead numbers here until you either roll a 6 or a 7 or a 4. There's an 8, so this is no help. So it's a slow strategy, but according to David at Casino Quest, it's a winning strategy. He actually says on his YouTube video that he has never lost playing this strategy. So now I'm just rolling until this roll is over. And people are going to say in the comments that these are all numbers that would have made money if I would have had a bet on them. There's another 9. There's another 9. There's an 8. Boy, am I looking like a fool here. There's a 9. There's a 6. So now the puck is off. Okay? So I guess you could lose money if you end up rolling a 7 on the come out because you've got a $30 don't pass bet that loses. And then if you roll the point, you'll lose that bet also, that $30. So there are ways you can lose at this, which of course is true with any strategy. There are going to be holes in the strategy where you lose. Let's go ahead and try this again. There's a 9, another inside number. So I'm going to put my $15 buy bet on the 10, and I'm going to put $30 in odds. Okay? Because I'm on the inside number. Now I'm going to roll. There's a 7 out. Now I lose my $15 on the 4. I lose my $15 on the 10. That's negative 30. But I win 30 in the don't pass, and I win 20 in the odds. So that's a positive 50, and that yields me a positive $20 win. Puck is off. I've got my $30 don't pass line up. Let's go ahead and roll for a point. Okay, a 5, another inside number. So 15 on the 4, 15 on the 10, 30 in odds. There's the 10. So we hit the 10, we pull the bet down from the 10, we pull the odds down. We now just have a 4, which is a winner, 5 loses 30, and a 7 loses 15 but wins 30. So we want a 4 or a 7 before the 5. And there's a 6. There's an 8. There's the 7. So this is another strategy similar to the 6, 7, 8. When would we play this strategy? Is if you walked up to the table and you were seeing a lot of 7 outs being thrown after 3 or 4 rolls. In other words, the table was throwing a lot of 7s. You want to win on your 7. This is a way that you can do that. And the only reason we're going to play the 4-10 versus the 6-8 is the 4 and the 10 pay much better. So the 4 and 10 doesn't roll as frequently as the 6 and 8, but when it does roll, it wins. It wins more. So if you look at our roll distribution, we're starting to get a normal distribution. We've rolled the 8, the 9, and the 10 more times than we should have, but everything else is starting to look fairly normal. We're up $32. Let's go ahead and roll this a few more times. So I've got a $30 don't pass bet. The puck is off. Let's establish a point. There's a 7 out. That's what we don't want. Let's put our $30 back in. Let's roll. There's the 5. Let's go ahead and put $15 on the 4, $15 on the 10, 30 in odds behind our don't pass. Okay, since it's an inside number. If the point would have been a 4 or a 10, we would not put the odds on. Right? If the point is the 4 or the 10, don't add odds. Let's roll. There's the 4. So we hit the 4. We won $29. We pull the 4 down. We pull the odds down. Now we lose on a 5. We lose our don't pass bet on a 5. We win on a 7. We win 30, but we lose 15. And we win on a 10. There's the 10. So we win. And the shooter is still in play. We still have our same bets. We just continue to roll. There's an 8. There's the 5. So now that roll is over. The puck goes off. We'll set up one more time. $30 don't pass. Let's get a point. The point is an 8. So we're going to put $15 on the 4, 15 on the 10. And since it's an inside number, we're going to put odds. Let's go ahead and roll. 7 out. We won $25 on a 7 out. So if this is a table that's throwing a lot of 7s, then this could be a good strategy to play. Take advantage of those 7 outs. The puck is off. We have a $30 don't pass bet up. Let's roll for a point. There's an 8. $15 on the 4. $15 on the 10. $30 in odds. There's a 12, no help. There's a 3, no help. There's an 8. That's the point. We lose our don't pass and our odds. We lost $60. So we want an inside number to hit so that we can put the odds bets on, but we don't want it to be a 6 or an 8 because those roll more frequently. So let's go ahead and set back up. Now our place bets are off because our puck is off. We have $30 in the don't pass. There's an 8. Mark the 8. Add your odds. And let's try to get a 4 or a 10 before an 8. There's a 9. Another 9. A 12. There's the 4. So we made $29 on the 4. We pull the bet down from the 4. We pull our odds down. Here's a 12. A 5. No help. A 6. A 5. So we want to avoid an 8. We win on a 7. We win on a 10. There's a 12. Another 12. This is the boring part. And there's the 10. So that wins. Okay? But the roller is still active. So this shooter's still working. So let's just continue to roll. I'm not sure if Casino Quest ever replenishes the 4 or not. But let's just roll until this shooter is done. There's a 5. There's the 7 out. And we win. We won $15 on the 7 out. Okay? So that's going to be our video for today. It is similar to a 6, 7, 8 strategy. But instead of winning on the 6 and the 8, we're going to win on the 4 and the 10. And instead of laying bets behind the numbers, we're going to use the don't pass bar, the don't pass line, to hedge our bets. Okay? So that's our video for today. We ended up almost $70 after 54 rolls. Our distribution looks pretty normal. And all in all, I think it turned out the way it should have. So thanks to Casino Quest and David for showing this video. I think I tried this a ways back, and I saw it pop up on my screen again. Thought I'd give it another try. It's an alternative to the 6, 7, 8. It's called the Weezy, and it's basically place bets on the 4 and 10 and a don't pass hedge. So that's going to do it for today. Hope everyone's having a good day. And as always, thanks for watching.